歡迎收睇電影全攻略。近呢幾年有好多改編自電子遊戲嘅電影或者影集，有唔少仲非常之成功添啊！好似最近著名喪屍遊戲 The Last of Us 嘅影集，幾乎獲得一致嘅好評，仲宣布加開第二季。另外有指盜墓者羅拉亦都會嚟個重啟，首先推出影集，然後同時喺電影同埋遊戲上面擴展，好似 MCU 咁嚟個盜墓宇宙。不過當然飾演羅拉嘅就唔會再係 Angelina Jolie 或者 Alicia Vikander， 而係另覓人選啦。以上作品你有得睇住㗎，不如先睇下呢個禮拜有啲咩新片上畫。給19歲的我，由校友張婉婷執導記錄建於1900年嘅英華女校舊校舍重建，成間學校要由半山暫時搬去深水埗。幾位背景各異嘅女學生，憑一股純真嘅勇氣，一邊成長，一邊見證10年嘅社會變遷。倒轉人生講述由權相佑飾演嘅千萬票房電影巨星，一直過住奢華又寂寞嘅單身生活。有日一覺醒來，突然成個世界唔同晒，自己唔再係巨星，仲突然同當年初戀加2個小朋友糾纏。究竟發生乜嘢事呢？24小時救心行動由韓國男神元彬攜手青龍影帝黃正文主演，真實改編2007年轟動全球嘅特務救心諜戰。23名韓國國民喺阿富汗被恐怖組織挾持，仲發出24小時死亡通牒。巴比倫星聲追夢荷里活由 Brad Pitt、小丑女 Margot Robbie 同 Diego Calva 領軍演出，將上世紀20年代荷里活電影由無聲年代進入有聲年代嘅一幕幕五光十色、汰弱留強呈現喺觀眾眼前。敲敲門講述一個細路女同2名養父去到郊外一間偏僻小屋度假，點知突然被4名持槍陌生人挾持做人質。佢哋3個必須喺呢個叫天不應、叫地不聞嘅地方鬥智鬥力，先有望逃出生天。絕地迫降講述一名經驗豐富嘅民航機師喺新年航班遇上超強雷暴，必須喺4萬尺高空緊急迫降，點知偏偏落咗喺一個3不管嘅死亡地帶，全機乘客變成人質，機師唯有同一名殺人犯聯手解救人質，展開12小時驚險逃亡。憑住《戰狼300》為人熟悉，今次身兼監製兼主演嘅 Gerard Butler 以及另一位男主角 Mike Colter 都有分享好多拍攝點滴。
This man, I have to tell you, it was so fun to work with. He's a great guy, very smart, and very talented, but also just has the ability to be silly, and I love that, So we were definitely fast friends.
I had too much fun making the film, and that sounds crazy because you kind of want to tell people, hey, it's really hard. It was really hard. We got along pretty well, pretty quickly, and that sort of translated to the film because chemistry does count. It doesn't matter whether you're telling a love story, whether you're telling a bromance, or whether you're telling, whatever story you're trying to tell. If the two guys or the couple, if it's not working, it doesn't translate, and you can feel that. So I think for the most part, I sat there and I went, oh man, this is working out really well because you just don't know until you show up on the set.
The second I read it, I went, this is a ride. This is definitely something that I think audiences would love to see on the big screen. This movie ticks so many boxes. It's an action movie. It's a disaster movie. It's a survival movie. It's very funny, but actual fact with characters that are grounded and very fascinating dynamics between them. And from then on, it was getting the script into shape because I always knew there were more moments we could find. There were more interesting relationships, especially between myself and Gaspar. And then to make it as exciting as possible from the start to the finish and grounding it and making it believable with all these characters that are just struggling, regular people in this bizarre situation. Gaspar, the role he plays, to us was always the final piece in the puzzle, trying to create it on the page. But when he turned up and took it to another level, and it just felt so effortless. I remember that first day we did our first scenes together, I was like, oh my God, this is going to make this movie.
If you think about it, I think going back to Jerry, talking about chemistry and talking about working with someone, the two characters, and in terms of redemption, redemption is earned. It's also like the relationship is earned. You can't be friends with someone who you haven't been to war with. If you've been through something with someone, that's going to bond you quicker than anything else. That's why people in the military call people that they fought alongside brothers. That's why people who play sports and stuff like that, they go to battle. These things bond you, and I think that's what bonds us. So even if we were trying not to be friends, it's kind of impossible when your life's on the line and this person has saved your life or he's had your back in a gun fight. And I think those things are going to resonate with a lot of the audience members. These two people are not focusing on each other, but focusing on survival. And through survival, they create a bond that's inseparable in some way.
What you really climb into, though, are these characters that you can identify with and understand in these relationships. So I think that really we're taking the audiences on a hell of a ride into this unknown world that at the same time they really feel that they've gone into themselves. But, there's such interesting themes in the movie, like loyalty, trust, friendship, courage, sacrifice. And I think that that's what they take out of it. Get the ride of a lifetime and then come out pretty inspired.
Hopefully they'll think about themselves in a they too can be heroes. These characters are, again, very relatable. Everybody in that situation, no one's prepared for it. No one expects this when they get off that plane, and they end up, having to do something that seems almost impossible. And I think when it ends, they're going to look at it and go, sometimes, you just never know what you can get out of yourself. You never know what you're capable of. And I think that's what people are always responding to. Acts of heroism by people who just seem to be outnumbered and unmatched. And I think that's what's going to always resonate with audiences.
早前楊紫瓊憑住《奇異女俠玩救宇宙》首次入圍奧斯卡影后啦，而上星期上映嘅《伊尼舍林的女妖》男主角 Colin Farrell 亦都有份角逐今屆嘅影帝㗎。佢嘅最大競爭對手咧，相信就係貓王嘅 Austin Butler 同埋瓊嘅 Brendan Fraser。值得一提嘅係，當年呢位靚仔泰山兼盜墓迷城型仔男主角 Brendan Fraser 啦，為咗演活600磅黐肥中年漢一角啦，除咗化特技裝，仲要着上近300磅嘅增肥衫，加上令人動容嘅演技，絕對有力問鼎今屆嘅奧斯卡影帝啊！呢個時候，我哋睇下呢個禮拜嘅票房走勢啊！今個星期票房走勢，截至2月1號中午，第3位就係啱啱過咗生日嘅張敬軒主演嘅《超神經械劫案下》，第2位有男兒當入樽新劇場版《The First Slam Dunk》，而第1位就係《毒舌大狀》，上映短短10幾日，票房經已衝破6000萬港幣啦！今集時間差唔多，下個禮拜同樣時間電影全攻略再見啦，拜拜。